Dear friends, welcome back to the second session of pointers in C. In this session, we will discuss more features of pointers which help you to thoroughly understand the concept. Array of pointers. Whenever addresses are stored as array elements, such an array is called an array of pointers. The format for the declaration of an array of pointers is data type star array name within square bracket size. For example, the declaration float star a 10 allocates the memory for 10 pointers which are to be stored in the variables a0, a1 up to a10. These variables are not initialized. When the array elements are initialized by the following statements, float f1 is equal to 13.32, f2 is equal to 14.23, a0 is equal to ampersand sign f1, a2 is equal to ampersand sign f2. The values of f1 and f2 can also be obtained by the expression star a0 and star a2 respectively. Consider the statements float x 15 25, float star y 15, y0 is equal to x, y1 is equal to x1, y2 is equal to x2 up to y14 is equal to x14. The first statement is a declaration of two dimensional array. The second one is a declaration of an array of pointers, and the third one is an assignment of the address of the first element in the array of x to the first element y0 of the pointer array y. Likewise, the starting address of the ith row is assigned to yi. Now, the array x is also represented by the array y. Each element of the array y points to a 25 element array. Totally, the memory locations for 375, that is 15 into 25 floats plus memory locations for 15 points are reserved. Thus, a two dimensional array may also be defined by a one dimensional array of pointers. The size of the array of pointers in the declaration represents the number of rows in a two dimensional array. Pointers and character arrays. Another important use of pointers is in handling of character arrays. Like the other arrays, the array name of the character array also gives the address of the 0th element in that array. In the following statements, char star p, p is equal to within double quotes pointer in C. The address of p is assigned to the pointer p. The second statement is actually initialization of pointer and not string copying. After this assignment, it is possible to use p0, p1, so on. Whenever more than one string are to be stored in an array, the two dimensional array is required to store each string in a row. Consider the following array of strings: char cities 320. It says that cities is a table containing 3 names, each with a maximum length of 20 characters including null characters. We know that rarely the individual strings will be of equal lengths. Therefore, instead of making each row a fixed number of characters, we can make it a pointer to a string of varying length. For example, char star cities 3 equal to within curly braces Hyderabad, Delhi, Kochi, close the braces. Declaration cities to be an array of 3 pointers to characters, each pointer pointing to a particular name as cities 0.2 Hyderabad, cities 1 pointing to Delhi, cities 2 pointing to Kochi. It is also possible to use null character to find the end of the string. For example, while star p not equal to null can be simply written as while star p, because /0 is equal to the value 0. Different types of pointers. Using const with pointers. Using the const keyword in pointers, we have to distinguish between making the pointer itself constant and making the value is pointed to constant. Go through the following declarations: const float star ptr or float const star ptr. Ptr points to a constant float value, that is, the ptr points to a value that must remain constant. The value of ptr itself can be changed. Float star const ptr. Ptr is a const pointer, that is, the pointer ptr cannot have its value changed. It must always point to the same address, but the pointed to value can change. Const float star const ptr means both that ptr must always point to the same location and that the value stored at location must not change. Null pointers. We know that the pointer variable is a pointer to some other variable. There is one other value a pointer may have, null value. This is called as null pointer. A null pointer is a special pointer not pointing to any variable, array or any valid memory location. The null pointer will hold null value and its content. Int star pt is equal to null. Int star pt is equal to 0 is also legal. Void pointer. A void pointer is called as generic pointer which can point to any type of memory block, but to access the complete memory one has to specify casting explicitly. Consider the following program segment: hash include stdio.h, main within braces int a equal to 1, char c is equal to a, void star ptr, ptr is equal to ampersand sign num, printf percentage d star int star ptr, ptr is equal to ampersand c, printf percentage c star char star ptr. Here the void pointer ptr is used as integer and character pointers using explicit casting method. Pointer to pointer. Consider the statements: int star p1 v is equal to 25, p1 is equal to ampersand sign v. The pointer variable p1 has an address which points to an int value 25 of the variable v, as in figure shown in the screen. Pointer variable p1, address of v points to variable v with value 25. The value stored in the v can be obtained by using the expression star p1. If a pointer variable points to another pointer variable, then the situation may be imagined based on the statements int star p1 star star p2 v is equal to 25, p1 is equal to ampersand sign v, p2 is equal to ampersand sign p1 as shown in the figure. Pointer variable p2, address of p1 points to pointer variable p1, address of v points to variable v with value 25. Such a situation is known as pointer to pointer. First, the address of v is assigned to p1 and the address of p1 is assigned to p2. The expression star p1 gives the value of v and star p2 gives the value of p1, which is the address of the variable v. Hence, the value of v can also be obtained by the expression star star p2. Here, two consecutive indirection operations are used. The expressions star star p2, star p1 and v represent the same value 25. Use of pointers in static and dynamic memory allocation. Let us consider the declarations char star cptr, float star fptr, double star dptr. The compiler reserves the same amount of memory space for each pointer variable because each pointer variable stores only one address. The declaration reserves memory locations for the pointer variables, but it does not assign addresses to those pointer variables. So, An appropriate address must be assigned to the pointer variable without fail before using it in the program. The declaration of pointer variable may include an initializer, which should be an address. Such an assignment is known as initialization of pointer variables. Pointer variables may be initialized in the declaration itself or by using an assignment statement somewhere after the declaration in a program. There are two ways to obtain a memory address. First one is static memory allocation and the second one is dynamic memory allocation. In static memory allocation, the address of a variable is assigned to a pointer variable. The compiler allocates or reserves the required memory space for a declared variable. By using the address of the operator, the reserved address is obtained and this address is assigned to the pointer variable. Most of the declared variables have static memory, allocated memory space within their scope. This way of assigning pointer value is known as static memory allocation. The address of a variable having a specific data type must be assigned to a pointer variable declared to be the pointer to that specific data type. In this session, we will discuss the use of ampersand operator to get an address and assigning the address to a pointer variable. The declarations float f1 f2 star fp is equal to ampersand sign f2 star f2 is equal to 10.13 initializes the pointer variable fp with the address of f2 as shown on the screen. Fp with the content 2020 and with the address 2050 points to f2 with value 10.13 with address 2020 points to f1 with address 4020. The address is assigned to the declaration itself. It is known as initialization of pointer variables. It is important to note that the interpretation of the indirection operation star in the declaration statement is different from that of the operator star in the other places. The declaration float f1 f2 star fp is equal to ampersand sign f2 informs the compiler that the expression star fp, f1 and f2 are float values. The syntax of the declaration of a pointer variable mimics the syntax of the expression that can appear while using it in order to represent its data object. The representations of the variables in the declaration are used as such to refer to the data object. Thus, star fp also represents a float value like the variables f1 and f2. The indirection operator is not applied to the variable in the declaration, but in the places other than declarations the indirection operator is applied and the expression is evaluated. In the above declarations, the pointer variable fp not star fp is initialized with the address of the variable f2. The value 10.13 is assigned to star fp using the assignment statement star fp equal to 10.13. These statements may be equivalently written as float f1 f2 star fp fp equal to ampersand sign f2 star fp equal to 10.13. To assign the address of f2 to fp, the declaration float f1 star fp is equal to ampersand sign f2 comma f2 does not initialize fp because the variable f2 is used before its declaration. Since C does not have look ahead capability, its type of initialization is not possible. In the following statements, float f1 star fp int I fp equal to ampersand sign I is an invalid assignment. Dynamic memory allocation. It is a process by which the required memory address is obtained without an explicit declaration. The required memory space is obtained by using the memory allocation functions like malloc and calloc. Memory allocation functions return a pointer value to a block of memory of required size. This returned pointer value is assigned to a pointer variable. Thus, the required memory space is dynamically created and assigned. This method of memory allocation is known as dynamic memory allocation. The storage space allocated dynamically has no name and hence its contents can be accessed only through a pointer. First, the number of memory allocations required for holding a data object must be known. C provides an operator size of to find the required space to store the data object of a particular data type. The format of a size of operator is size of within bracket data type or variable. For example, size of int returns the size of memory to hold an int data type. The header file stdlib.h should be included at the beginning of the program while using the memory allocation functions. The function malloc obtains the number of bytes mentioned as its argument and returns a generic pointer, that is pointer to void, that is void star, to the memory obtained. For example, in the statements int star ip equal to int star malloc size of int star ip equal to 20, or int star ip equal to int star malloc size of int star ip equal to 20. The pointer variable ip obtains exactly the right amount of memory to hold a data object. The function malloc uses one argument only, which represents the number of bytes to be reserved for storage. The memory allocated by this function contains garbage values. The cast operator is used to convert the generic pointer void star returned by the function malloc to the concerned data type. Observe the casting int star in the pointer assignment statements that convert the generic pointer to an int pointer. The declaration int star p equal to int star malloc 4 into size of int reserve a block of memory containing 8, that is 4 into 2 memory locations for holding 4 int values. The function calloc is similar to malloc, but uses two arguments. The first argument represents the number of data objects for which the memory is to be allocated, and the second argument represents the size of each data object. The memory allocated by this function contains the storage initialized to 0. For example, float star ip equal to float star calloc within bracket 10 comma size of float close the bracket obtained the space for 10 float data objects having the values 0. The function calloc is quite suitable for obtaining space for arrays. The function realloc is capable of increasing or decreasing the space that has been allocated previously. For example, consider the statements float star fp int n is equal to 10, fp equal to float star malloc within brackets 5 into size of float close the bracket, fp equal to realloc within bracket fp comma n. The first argument in realloc is a pointer to a block of memory of which the size is to be altered. The second argument n specifies the new size. If the allocation is successful, the returned value is again the pointer to the first byte of the allocated memory retaining the old contents. If n is greater than the old size and if sufficient additional space is not available subsequent to the old region of the function realloc may create a new region. Also, the old data are moved to the new region. The function malloc, calloc and realloc obtain memory space dynamically. They call upon the operating system to obtain more blocks of memory as needed. The main advantage of using these memory allocation functions is getting the amount of memory as per the requirements without wastage of memory. When the requirement of memory is not known in advance, such functions will be helpful to obtain memory space as and when required. All these functions returns the generic pointer. By using a cast operator, the appropriate type of pointer is obtained. If the required size of memory is not available in the computer memory, null is returned by all these functions. The null value may be used for verifying the successful creation of memory space as given in the statements. Int star p, if p equal to int star malloc size of int into 20 equal to null within braces printf unsuccessful memory allocation exit 1 close the curly brace. The memory obtained by malloc, calloc and realloc functions can be freed when that space is not required for any storage. The function free does this job. The function called free within bracket ptr makes the space which is obtained by malloc or calloc or realloc and pointed by the pointer variable ptr. The function called realloc ptr, 0 is equivalent to the function called free ptr. When the pointer is used, we must systematically follow certain steps. First one, declare the pointer variable. Second one, initialize the pointer variable with an appropriate address. Third one, if the content of the address stored in the pointer is required, the indirection operator star is used to obtain value pointer to a function. We have already discussed the use of pointers in the call by reference method of parameter passing in the functions. By passing the pointers, the modified contents are also available in the calling function. Without pointers, this effect is not possible in a program. Function can also be passed as the arguments in another function by using pointers to those functions. A function may also return a pointer to a data type. This session can be appreciated only by the advanced users of C. A function is not a variable, but it has an address. The function name itself represents the address of that function. Hence, it is possible to define a pointer to a function. Functions are stored in memory similar to a data. A function can be assigned, placed in the arrays, passed as argument to another functions and returned by a function by means of a pointer to a function. The declaration of a pointer to a function has the format data type within bracket star function name, data type 1, data type 2 up to data type n, and function call has the format within bracket star function name close the bracket and argument 1, argument 2 up to argument n. The parentheses in star function name are necessary, since in star function name the parentheses have higher precedence than star and they are evaluated from left to right. If the parentheses are omitted, then it becomes a function returning a pointer. The general format for a function returning a pointer is data type star function name argument 1, argument 2 up to argument n. The function call of a function returning a pointer is similar to the ordinary function called as given by star function name within bracket argument 1, argument 2 up to argument n. Thus, the pointer to a function must be declared carefully to avoid the confusion between a function returning a pointer and a pointer to a function. For example, double within bracket star fp. Fp is a pointer to a function. Double star fun. Fun is a function returning a pointer. Command line arguments. The function main in C can also pass arguments or parameters like the other functions. It has two arguments argc for argument count and argv for argument vector. It may have one of the following two forms: main int argc comma char star argv, or main int argc char star star argv, where argc is the number of arguments. Argv is a pointer to an array of strings or pointer to characters. The argument argv is used to pass strings to the programs. Hence, the arguments argv and argc are called as program parameters. After successful compilation, the program is executed by using an execution command. The execution command depends on the system running the program. It is possible to pass the value of program parameter argv through an execution command only. Actually, the execution command is a command line. The value of the program parameter argv is given in the command line. The value of argv is automatically counted by the compiler when main is invoked. Since the values are available and obtained from the command line, they are also known as command line arguments. The values of the arguments are generally passed through the actual arguments when the function is invoked. Since main is the first function invoked during execution, the values are obtained from the command line itself. It can be observed that the execution of pointer version programs are faster than the programs without using pointers. There are instances where pointers play important roles and certain operations and effects are possible only with the help of pointers. Let us now summarize the points that we discussed in the session. We have understood that an array of pointers in an array that can hold the addresses of other variables. The execution of the declaration statement results in allocating storage spaces only, and the data objects are not assigned automatically. Hence, after the declaration of pointer variables, they must be initialized. A pointer variable may be initialized by using static or dynamic memory allocation. In static memory allocation, the space reserved by the compiler is assigned to a pointer variable. Dynamic memory allocation is obtained by using the built-in functions like malloc and calloc. A dynamically created memory may be freed using the function free. It is also possible to define a pointer to a function for manipulating the functions as an ordinary variable. It is possible to pass string variables to the function main using standard parameters argc and argv in it. A pointer is a valid address which is stored in a pointer variable. Please try to solve these assignments. Functions and pointers work together in C. Explain. What does the size of return to an array name? What is the purpose of the command line argument? How can a function be passed as an argument? Write a program to merge two unsigned numeric arrays using pointers. Write a program using pointers to read in an array of integers and print the elements in reverse order. Here are some books for your reference: B.W. Kenningen and D.M. Ritchie, The C Programming Language, 2nd edition, Prentice Hall, 1978. Yashwant Kanedkar, Let Us See, 10th edition, VPB Publications, New Delhi, 2010. Greg M. Perry, Absolute Beginner's Guide to C, 2nd edition, SAMS Publishing, 1994. Pointers are important part of C. If you cannot use pointers properly, then you have basically lost all the power and flexibility that C allows. The secret to C is in its use of pointers. Hope you have understood the concept of pointers in C. Here we conclude the session of pointers. Let us wait for the coming sessions, and till then, bye.